Hello everybody, thank you so much for watching Where Was Simba and hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's video, we got a lot of things to talk about, guys, and to be honest, some of these are actually quite unusual. So, we're going to go ahead and start off with the tropics, where we actually do have our chance for development re-upgrading again. So this was a 70% chance, but now it's a 70% chance again. So we were downgrading to a 50% chance earlier, but now we are back to a 70% chance, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you guys, it is going to start being really concerning, and so if this does develop, there's gonna be something to really watch for. This should just impact the Caribbean islands, but if this does head northeast, kind of like what this one will do, this one has a 0% chance, kind of like what this one will do, we may be talking some impacts by this. We'll have to watch closely, but I also did want to show you around the El Nino area, we actually do have a chance for development, and I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, these waters are super warm, so we may even see this develop immediately, depending on how this really wants to play out. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the satellite view, and as you see, that area that we just talked about is actually starting to develop. As you see, a bunch of disorganized showers and storms across this area, and this should remain to develop across this area right here, so we'll have to watch for. But let me tell you guys something, severe weather has just returned, because if you look, we actually do have almost all hazards in play, including a tornado threat for Florida again today, so this is going to be really concerning, guys. No hail threat, but we do have both a wind and tornado threat, which is going to be a big concern today, so be on high alert if you live in this area. But what I do want to show you guys is that on day 4 and 5, severe weather has just returned, because if you look, we do have a threat for severe weather down here to the south, and since it's not a marginal risk, it is something to really be aware of. Somehow this could even be outbreaking too as well, depending on how this really plays out. But even on day 4, we are seeing a chance for severe weather across Oklahoma, getting down into Texas. So both day 4 and 5 do have a threat for severe weather. So starting day 4, this is going to be from Sunday into Monday. And then on day 5, this is going to be from Monday into Tuesday, okay? So make sure you guys are being really aware about that. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the excessive rainfall outlook, where we actually do have a chance for flooding today, guys. This is across eastern Florida, and even includes some of the same areas that even saw flash flooding yesterday, guys. This is just weird, guys. This weather is kind of unusual for this time of year. I'm not like trying to say severe weather is unusual, but for how much poor weather we're already having, to me, this is quite unusual. But we make sure you guys are aware of this. But then as we get into day 5, we actually do have our next chance for flash flooding, especially across the south region. We'll have to see if this does choose to upgrade, but this will be from Monday into Tuesday. But if we look at the Weather Prediction Center outlook, we got chances for rain both today and tomorrow across the Ohio Valley area. Even a chance for thunderstorms across this area right here. So eastern Kentucky, getting down into the eastern half of Tennessee, and then even getting down into northern Alabama, Georgia, and even a few other areas around that. So make sure you guys are being on high alert for these storms. But as we look at Saturday, it's looking like most of the active weather does seem to stay more to the east, but northeast and even down into the Mid-Atlantic are seeing some chances for rain and maybe even a few thunderstorms, depending on how this plays out. but we're going to go ahead and look at the total snowfall, or I mean, we're going to go ahead and look at radar, and as you see, guys, this is just going to be weird, because if you look, first of all, we start off with a pretty active line of storms tomorrow around the morning area, maybe a few heavier bands of showers, and maybe even a brief thunderstorm, and as you see, that kind of did strengthen a little bit, but then it dies down, and then as we get into November 20th, that's where we could start to see our chances for storms wrapped around. And if you guys remember the Storm Prediction Center outlook on day 4, that was from Sunday into Monday. So we want to look at Sunday, and as you see, we actually kind of do start to have some storms develop across this area. And as you can probably see, it does say Sunday right there, and we'll continue to take this forward. And as you probably do see, we kind of stop having some storms across that area, but then as we get into Tuesday, so from Tuesday into Wednesday, I think we're gonna go back and check, and this is there's actually Monday into Tuesday, so Monday into Tuesday, we're gonna go back a little bit, and as you see, on Tuesday morning, this is about when the severe weather threat ends, but we do seem to have our pretty active storms across the south, guys. I mean, this is just weird, guys. Such weird weather for this time of year, and I mean, we'll really have to keep our eye on how these storms play out, but we're definitely talking rain versus snowfall for much of the eastern United States, especially the northern part of the eastern United States and even the Ohio Valley, but we're still going to have to really watch this closely. But precipitation-wise, look, we got some pretty active rainfall across the south area, and we may be talking more in the way of rain for Oklahoma and Texas, just because we got that threat for severe storms. So I wouldn't rule out a slight risk across this area, but we are even seen some pretty active rainfall across the Ohio Valley and even the Central Plains too as well. So this is definitely something to be aware about. We're also going to go ahead and take a look at the total snowfall, where the GFS kind of decided to bring that total snowfall farther north, at least more of the active snowfall more north. So this is definitely going to be something to be aware about, guys. And I mean, this definitely kind of some pretty life-threatening storms, because I mean, we're seeing a bunch of snowfall for this area right here in the Central Plains. We also saw some threats for severe weather down here to the south. We also saw a marginal risk for Florida down here in the south part of Florida, pretty much. We also saw that for today and even yesterday. So like for today, we are talking some severe weather possible for Florida, and I mean, this is kind of unusual for this time of year, especially if you go all the way down to Florida. To me, I think the weather would usually be a little bit more calmer than this. And I mean, the rainfall for November is super low across this area, so that's why I'm saying it's not as common as you think. It's actually pretty unusual for this time of year across Florida. So definitely be aware of this today, guys. Watch for a tornado across this area, at least an isolated tornado, and then watch for some pretty gusty winds and maybe even a few pieces of small hail possible, but no hail threat is with this, so that's what I'm saying. We may see a little bit of hail, but definitely not much hail at all, so we're gonna have to keep our eye on this. But thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys did have a great day so far, and we will continue to keep you guys updated with the storm. But this is just nuts for how much severe weather we're already starting to have for this time of year, so we'll have to really watch. But if you guys haven't watched my fall into winter tornado threat video. Make sure you guys do watch that. So make sure you guys do watch that tornado outlook video that I did make. And if you guys already watched that, good. Just make sure you guys are getting prepared, especially if you live down here to the south. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will do one tomorrow.